Mary is innocent. David, I'll say this again without apology. Mary is innocent. Now at this point, I don't think you should be pointing any accusing finger on the opposite side or on anybody. Because at this point, I believe what you should be after now is how to get your mental state in order. Because you're losing it. John Laughter came all the way from Enugu just to come pay a condolence visit to you. Fine, he might have said what he doesn't want to say in the way you heard it, or rather the way you interpreted it. He might not mean it that way, but it's not enough reason for you to stand up and shun him trying to walk out inside your room. For Christ's sake, the guy came down, flew all the way just to make sure he pays condolence visit to you. If he doesn't love you, if he doesn't like you, if he doesn't respect you, he would not do that. You need to cut down this your attitude of shouting. In this mode, you don't shout, stand up, the walk they go. Ego, pride, they say comes before a downfall. I will tell you as if you're my friend, you can never touch me because you're losing it. Shouting that they finally did what they want to do. Sheshi and her big mommy is going to rest deep down your heart. I know at this point you are very, very devastated. You're not okay. You are so heartbroken. So therefore you might say anything that you want to say, but mind your speech. Human can forget, but internet never forgets. This lady has received several names from you. You've called her a prostitute, you've called her a mad woman, you've called her poverty, you've called her a beggar, you've insulted her family, you've called her almost all wrong names. At this point, now you want to include murdering in her name. No, I won't take it. Like I said before, she is your wife 100%. But at this point in time, she might not have people to speak for her. But I fight till the very last to make sure that justice must prevail. They say cow when you get tail. Now God, they help and push you fly. Don't lay a false accusation on a lady that did nothing. Now let's analyze this together. Once again, I'm so sorry for the demise of your baby. Now let's analyze this together. We are both adults. And I believe we are educated to some high level. Where did Joy go the day Mary got back? She was not at home. Don't get me wrong. At this point, I want you all to calm down. Watch this video till the end. I'm not accusing anybody, but let's use our tongue to count our teeth. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I will say again, there are so many things that can cause miscarriage, yes. Restlessness can cause it. Quarrels, stress, shouting, disturbing your body, thereby disturbing the baby, not having good sleep, high blood pressure. These are some of the factors that can lead to miscarriage. A pregnancy of more than 5 months cannot easily be miscarried. No, except like I said, it's a spiritual case. Cannot easily be miscarried. Things I need to find out. I need to find out the hospital. We actually need to know the hospital, the doctor in charge, the nurse that is in charge of her treatment. What was given to her before she miscarried the baby. If truly the baby was miscarried, there should be at least samples of the blood, which medically can be traced. They can take the sample of this blood to a lab and they can trace the kind of drugs in her bloodstream to know if it's just a miscarriage or she took something. Like I said, we are only assuming. Don't get me wrong. At this point, if you can actually be pointing, accusing finger on Mary, I think everybody is a suspect at this very point. No one should be left out. Now I need to know the doctor that has been on our case. At least, even if she miscarried the baby, there would still be some particles of blood, which I know that very well can take them to another hospital, a very good and better hospital with good facilities, run a test on those blood. Thereby we will know if truly the pregnancy was miscarried. It will indicate there. If it's otherwise, it will still indicate there. Since you're pointing accusing finger on Mary, everybody at this point is a suspect. You made a statement when I got to your place. You said they didn't even allow you to see the baby with your eyes. Are you telling me that you didn't see, even if it's the blood of it? Because I came to your house and I heard you saying, you said it directly to me, that they didn't allow you to see the baby. Was the child buried before you got there? Because I don't see any reason whereby the father, biological father of a child, has not yet arrived, and you will tell me that the particles or the blood or rather the particles or the blood streams of the child is no more, is already buried without the father's notice, without the father setting eyes on them. If it's that what you mean, that you didn't see the baby, then everybody is a suspect. Like I said, I need to know the hospital, we need to know the doctor or the nurse in charge, and whatever injection or drugs that was treatment rather that was given to her needs to be cross-checked to know what exactly the drugs and the treatment were for. And if by any chance we can get the particles of the blood, if it was miscarried, we would like to take it, I would like us to do this together. Take it to another hospital, a very good one with good facilities, like I said before. Run a thorough test on it. Everybody is a suspect. Because if truly, don't get me wrong, I stand to be corrected. If truly she had a miscarriage, I don't think she should be at home this early. Someone that has a miscarriage of a baby that is months old, it's not an easy journey. She should still be in the hospital by now. That is by the way. Like I was saying, that very test should be able to indicate if the pregnancy was miscarried or otherwise. It will indicate there. That way, I believe justice can be served accordingly. Since you want to get justice for your child, since you want to start pointing accusing fingers, we need to tackle everything from the root till we get to the top. That way we can achieve a paramount result and know who is guilty and who is not guilty. My name is Wise One. A pregnancy of more than 5 months wouldn't just be miscarried like that without any previous signs. Now, I might not be into the medical field, but so far so good. I'm learning to some extent, and I can categorically tell you, Joy, that any woman that got a miscarriage of a pregnancy that is more than 5 months would not come back from the hospital almost immediately. Is anybody with me here? At this point, I'll put it to you, rather I'll put it to the both of you, that's Lemon and Joy. I'll put it to you that Joy has a lot to tell me. Rather, Joy has a lot to tell you, Lemon, and has a lot to tell this very space on this blue app. My name is Wise One. I can't stand and watch you lay accusation on an innocent girl that did totally nothing wrong, but loved you, cared for you, wanted to be with you, wanted to build an empire with you and make sure you're fine. But rather you choose to frustrate, make her sad, make her depressed, make her hungry, make her be in the mouth of everybody in this internet space. It is not good. I told you before, don't point an accusing finger on anybody. Your mindset is not yet settled. You need to calm yourself and have your mental state back in good. But rather you choose to start making dust out of a wet ground. No point fingers, you say no. Now when you don't point finger, let's get to the root of all this together. As if you, in case you don't know, I'm very much interested in this case, and I believe there are lots of people, both here in Nigeria and in the diaspora, that are also interested, want to know what really transpired and how everything went. A few questions I would like to ask you, Joy, and I need an answer almost immediately. Number one, was there any kind of abdominal pain that you felt before the miscarriage, or rather Lemon, that you saw her feeling before the miscarriage? Was there any kind of discharge, maybe bloody, that happened before then? Thirdly, she said she was with your parents. She went to her mother-in-law's place, right? And I believe it started from there. They should be able to tell us 1 or 2 things that they noticed before rather she went to the hospital. Thirdly, and why didn't you go to the hospital which you registered your antenatal? Fourthly, why didn't you call Lemon, your husband, to meet you at the hospital when the pain becomes unbearable, when the situation is becoming worse, when you finally know that, okay, this is going to result to this? And again, why didn't the doctor, or rather the nurse, or anybody in charge, keep the fetus for the biological father, Lemon, you, to come and see with your two clear eyes? Because according to your word, in your first video where you were crying, you said they didn't even allow you to set eyes on this child. And why was she discharged? And equipment used and given drip in her hands. Who's going to remove it for her? Come on now. Somebody's not giving me an answer, telling me what I need to know. A child that is more than 5 months cannot just be evacuated just like that. No, I'm not a kid. A more than 5 months old baby that has already been said to be a male child can't just be flushed like that now. Come on. Come on now. There would have been signs of abdominal pain. For that child to come out, she must be induced in the hospital. She would then push the baby. And more than 5 months old picky would talk about how come Lemon did not know about it. Nobody did tell me what he had. Okay, fine. Where is the dead body of the child? Was he buried? Was he flushed away? Without the biological father being aware of it? No. No, I told you not to not to point any accusing finger on anybody, but you went far. You don't start at the point, and now let's get to the root of all this. I am not even exempted. Like I said, everybody is a suspect, including me. Yes, Namitoka, my name is now Wise One, I know they hide. She went to your parents' place. According to her, she posted she is in her mother-in-law's place. We need to know what and what she took there. What did she drink? She took any drugs? She took anything? That was why I mentioned that a proper test, as in all through general test, will be done. A bloodstream test will be done to know whatever she has taken in her body. It will reflect in the system. It will be indicated there. And guess what? Whether miscarriage or abortion, I don't care. Because at this point, we'll take this thing to the next level. Get that blood of that very child. If they can show us where the baby is, I will run a proper DNA test on it. I don't care how much you go take. If my money finish, I go borrow money. If I don't get people there, will stand for back, we're ready to her. The paternity of that child must be brought out. Truth must prevail. Justice must take its full course, 100%. If you affect anybody at this point, I don't really care. I said this thing before. A child cannot exist in a toxic container. No. If at all you were pregnant, your mouth was full of venom. You just did talk anyhow. You were insulting almost everybody on this space. You drag everybody, knowing fully well that haters are around, knowing fully well that you're pregnant. I was talking about Bola and Bola this, Bola that, Bola this. Fine. To the best of my knowledge, I know that yes, married women need to have Bola. Probably when it's about time to give birth. But it's not food. Look at me, too much Bola is not good for a pregnant woman for the first trimester. It is not a food for the fetus. Time go reach where you go chop and you say no. Probably, you don't use knacking, shift innocent picking brain. Use knacking, knock innocent picking, shift tank, come off for womb. It's not funny. I told you, David, I said, let's not point an accusing. Don't point an accusing finger on anybody. Don't make that innocent girl feel worse of herself. You've made her feel less of a woman already. I'm just trying to see if I can pick the little pieces and make her smile. And yet this. Don't forget, she has once had a miscarriage too. I didn't say it's bad for you to react very well at the demise of your child, no. But don't forget, that lady that you're accusing also had a miscarriage.